Okay.
Okay. Hear, O Israel, HAYAH, our force is one, and thou shalt love HAYAH, thy force, with all the heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And this word which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way.
When thou walkest by the way,
And when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be the frontlets between thy eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates. Any more?
phylacteries. In Polish, phylacterie. You remember phylacterie? Those black boxes they put on top of
The
Jews. The modern Jewry uses this verse to justify this practice of placing a black plaque with commandments on the hand and on the forehead. This way or another, we would like to welcome everyone on the new platform in English language, HAYAH TV, which was available only to Polish viewers for a while. After great reception which we have received
Last couple of months,
great reception from Polish
viewers.
viewers on YouTube we have received. So encouraged by the great success of HAYAH TV in Polish, we've decided to take a short break from next recording in Polish language, and we're going to start spreading the good news with our brothers and sisters in dispersion in this modern time we're living in. There is no excuse not to know the truth, and for someone like us, knowing the truth is, like, I think I can honestly say that for me, I had like, I don't know, few days break from recording in HAYAH TV in Polish language. And I was planning to make a break, but this desire to share this information with other people is too great. So perhaps this is gonna be the introduction to HAYAH TV. HAYAH TV is gonna be teaching what we have just read from book Deuteronomy. Read to us again. This is what we are planning to teach on this platform. We are planning to teach everything that Sebastian is reading to you out of King James Version of the Bible. And in this short segment as introduction, we're going to try to explain the misunderstanding which is rampant in all Christian denominations. People reading English translation of the Bible or Polish translation of the Bible, of Hebrew text, using words which don't pertain to what the Most High himself designed to be called by. So read to us, Seba, once again.
Yeah. Forgive my English. I'm reading KJV first time.
That's okay. There when you read thou is thou. Thou means you in plural.
That's not the English I'm using on everyday basis.
Because there's a difference. There's a difference if you say thou. Thou is, as far as I know, is
you.
You say
You, but plural.
But plural, which in modern English is lost, right? So after this, we're gonna before we're gonna take the subject, main subject of this lesson, we're gonna read one more thing from this wonderful book which Seba reads from. So get this
one more time.
Verse 4. Deuteronomy 6 chapter verse 4.
Hear, O Israel, HAYAH, our force, is one.
Hear, O Israel, hear Shama, Israel, Yasharala, HAYAH, AlaHaYm, Achat, HAYAH, Our force is one.
Is one. Is one. And thou shalt love HAYAH, thy force, with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
And even though Sebastian is reading English version of the Bible, he is intentionally omitting the word God, because this word, as far as the Bible in itself in English language is built, doesn't pertain to the text. The Most High himself, he didn't call himself what is called nowadays by any translation of known to us. He's not God, he's not Dios, he's not book. He himself calls himself by name of life, of Hay, of Yah, of HAYAH, of life everlasting. And
The Most High, yeah? HAYAH.
HAYAH, the Most High, highest, the highest definition. This is what is going to be subtitle of this platform, HAYAH TV, the highest definition. For once, definition of life. For second, we're going to try to define the words in this book for you, our brothers and sisters, dispersed in Babylon, so you can find out about the simplicity of and you know, and this
Simplicity of the good news.
simplicity of the good news, which is in this world of Christianity from the beginning not reflected, deceptive, yes, because those same people who translated this text, and until this day they use English language and confirm to this Greek idea that the Most High, the highest power, supposed to be called God.
As the Greek gods, you know.
They read, they print the books like the one we're going to show you on the next segments. Like, for example, Apocrypha, which comes from Greek text. Those people who translate the language to modern languages, they know that what was written. Can I see the book for a second? What was given to people as the so-called inspired word of the Most High was delivered to us by many translators, and oftentimes the meaning behind the word with translation was lost. And what better option to choose, I think, than to start explaining any story from the beginning, right? It's difficult to find out, even if you are the best listener. If you come to the
I'll be back.
okay, maybe you want some mine. I didn't take any, so you can take mine. Even if you have the best imagination, if you don't know history from the beginning, if you go in the middle of the movie, you can misunderstand the plot, right?
Yeah, got to start from the beginning.
So let's go to the subject of this lesson.
From the beginning, yeah?
From the beginning.
I'll find on
The old, I mean, what Bible do I have? I mean, the Bible is quite amazing. Is the New Cambridge Paragraph Bible, King James Version, plus Apocrypha. For past week, I have this Bible for maybe like 2 years, but for past week I've started look. I've started sharpening this sword to be able to move quicker in the text. And what I'm going to read to you now is coming from the book of Ecclesiasticus, which is not present in modern King James version of the Bible. The 1611 version of the Bible was richer by, I think, I don't know, is 14 or 15 books in Apocrypha?
I don't know.
Ecclesiasticus is one of them. Wisdom of Solomon, end of Book of Esther, Judith, all those books, Book of Tobit, Maccabees, all those books were present in the 1611 King James version of the Bible, in the Geneva Bible in Polish,
Biblia Brzeska.
Biblia Brzeska, in Biblia Gdańska. So the prologue of the wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach, whereas many and great things were being delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for as much as many have taken in hand to write declaration of those things which are most surely believed among us. Very similar to what Luke wrote on the beginning of his gospel. What are you doing there?
I'm looking for Ecclesiasticus in online.
Never mind. You might not have that because
Yeah,
it's
there is Ecclesiasticus, but the
apocrypha.
words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem.
Because this is
Different translation.
no, this is prologue I'm reading. If you
Alright,
don't,
alright,
if you have
never
just
mind,
a book,
never mind.
you might not
I'll
have
listen.
the prologue. Read with me, come on.
Yeah, go on. Don't worry.
The prologue of wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commanded for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers most need become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without. Both by speaking and writing, my grandfather Jesus, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets, and the other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. I think it's interesting
It is very interesting.
how this grandson of Jesus put it down, that and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living. We're gonna today discuss the word living in a minute. We're gonna discuss many words. It's gonna be a short segment which leads us to end of this lesson, but first we're gonna read this what we have to read so you get better understanding why we do that. To the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. Whereof let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another language have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. For in the 8th and 13th year, coming into Egypt, when Euphrates, etc., 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 is very important for for myself, like if I speak to someone seriously who wants to study the Bible, to let someone know that, you know, what we have received today is just something which was delivered
Translation of the translation.
to us by many generations of people, and this is the way the Most High designed to do it. The Most High in English language, the Most
Most
High,
High.
the highest power designed to do it, and blessed be the Most High. Let me read this short paragraph again. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another language have not the same force, have not the same force, have not the same force.
Force.
This is what we have used for such a long time in Polish language, saying at the end, niech moc będzie z wami. Moc is what was translated, for example, in Star Wars. What is called force was translated to moc in Polish language. Yeah, if I think if we was to say at the end of this segment, may force be with you, would be,
Force better than power.
I think, could be better, but you know, by people who don't understand this larger than life understanding of Hebrew language, which we're gonna present right now, could be misleading to thinking that, you know, we spread some sort of new age religion, sort of Madame Blavatsky ideas, Satan being a force, nothing like that. So let us pardon our brothers and sisters who use English language, who gonna be listeners of our future interactions with Sebastian. Most of the time, I'm guessing, is gonna be the situation when I'm gonna be the face and Seba is gonna be the voice. Why we are not going to entertain, while reading the King James version of the Bible, the way of how writers of this particular translation worded the name of the Most High, or how the highest power, who call himself HAYAH, is being called God. So let's get to the point.
To the beginning.
To the beginning then. In the beginning, is introduction to the Most High and Mighty Prince James, by the grace of God, G-O-D, by the grace of God, King of Great Britain. So, this is what we're gonna do now, is not to try to convince anyone about, maybe not to convince, not to persuade anyone,
Not
to
at the first lesson.
yeah, not at the first hearing of what we're gonna say, to change the mind on how you're gonna moving forward reading the Bible. If you are a Christian, we are completely understanding to your situation, where it's not easy just to swap, you know, mentality. This is the hardest thing to do.
Especially that we've got some feelings involved.
Attached to the word God, yes, is, you know, those beautiful Christian songs,
No,
you know,
yeah,
songs for
yeah,
many years about God, how He loves you, and so on and so forth. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. In the beginning, God. Let's see who created. And this is, you know, this is the main subject of this lesson.
Who created?
Yes,
Well, let's look at the book, I think.
Yeah, who created? No, let's see the word. Let's see the word God, because we have just read the book of Ecclesiasticus, and the man was just explaining that his grandfather Jesus, was, you know, moved by Spirit, you know, to write something from what he have learned. What we are doing right now, just to spread the word further to give his understanding to other people, so that other people might, like it is written, go in a pathway of the law and the prophets, right?
Yeah.
So you are looking at now what?
I'm looking for when he said, let's create a man.
Are you looking to put in our yeah?
Let us.
Let
us.
Yeah, is in plural, of course. But before we're gonna go any further, we have 21st century in HAYAH TV. We're gonna show you some books which if we speak now to students of the Bible, you probably know about. If you don't know about, you not necessarily need to know about them off the bat of the beginning. But what I'm going to show you right now is available to any user of iPhone application, in which by clicking on the word, we're going to have linked information with the so-called Strong's Concordance. James Strong was one of the greatest, probably safe to say, scholar of past 200 years. He compiled a huge tank engine of many people to compile something which is called nowadays Strong's Concordance. All the books, all the words which were used in so-called authorized version of the text from which King James Bible was derived from, were put in a book, and this word, which was translated to English language as God, in Hebrew language, I'm going to show to the brothers and sisters. You saying, Saba?
It wasn't God.
It wasn't God. It was AlaHaYm. It was AlaHaYm. I wrote here, yeah.
Which is AlaHaYm, which is plural.
Yes. I wrote down something which is gonna help you to visualize what we are talking about here. It's actually pretty simple. Like, the young child, the younger the better, could understand it. Okay, the way I'm showing to you right now. This is 4 letters. It's not 4. It's Aleph, Lamed, Mem, Yod, and Mem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 5 Hebrew letters which were translated to the word God. But in the 21st century, seriously, it's a damn shame we need to even take time to, make this segment as a beginning, as an introduction to what we're going to teach in HAYAH TV. It's a damn shame that the same people who give you the book with the singular form of the word God, they write books in which they tell you themselves that the Hebrew word is AlaHaYm, which is a plural form of word Eloah, which means to judge. So someone who is in a position of judging, passing the judgment, right? This is what Eloah means. So the word Eloah in Hebrew section of Strong's Concordance is 433. You can check the definition. Is a derivation of the word El. These 2 words, El, Aleph, and Lamed. And not to make it too complicated on the beginning, but it's important to say 2 words about Hebrew language and any ancient language pretty much was understood by the people of the language. The language which was used was language of pictures. So the person looking at the picture with the knowledge and intention of person putting out the picture could say what the text actually meant. We know that even Greek language of Christ, the so-called Gospel, the so-called New Testament, was written without any separation between the words, for example.
Interpunction, yeah.
Interpunction, and so on and so forth. Therefore, what is being translated to 3 English words, God, whatever the hell it means at this point in time, let's put it this way. We're going to get to this in next segments. Was and is translated from Hebrew. The translators tell us themselves, who write concordances and books upon books on how to define the Hebrew words. Apparently the word in Hebrew language is AlaHaYm, which translates to plural form of whatever Eloah means. Eloah means judge, so AlaHaYm means judges. Therefore, we've read 4th verse in 6th chapter, book of Deuteronomy. Hear, O Israel, HAYAH, our power, HAYAH is one. As much as the Most High is one, He is plural, He's more than one. Because the word AlaHaYm doesn't mean one in singular sense, means united in judgment. But this is for
one judgment.
Having the same judgment. This is what Christ said in Gospel of John. The same judgment which I judges the Father, because I myself don't judge.
No own opinion.
Yes, there's no opinion for me, Christ says. Whatever I see with my Father, this is what I do. Whoever saw me saw my Father. Because we are united in judgment.
So in this meaning, HAYAH is one.
You want to read something?
Yeah, I wanna read 26th verse of Genesis.
Okay, go ahead.
Because when I started to read the Bible, with my first touch of the Bible. I opened the first pages here, and I've seen this passage here. And the Most High said, "Let us make man in our image."
Let us.
So I didn't know a lot about the Bible, and basically nothing. And it was, my question: How come? If there is only one God, He can say, "Let us make man in our image"? Who said so, and to whom? We're gonna try to explain it later on.
It would be just logic to ask a question. How is it possible that something like this in the beginning of the book can take place and no one asks any question?
Oh, it's because the answer is simple. Because people do not read the book. They just rely on their, I don't know how to say, pastors.
So, Hebrew language is written from right to left in the same way you read the thing. So this is so to say our ALHIM. AlaHaYm. You're gonna find out that modern translators would like to translate it Elohim. I mean, I'm not to say that this is, completely wrong. This is not what I think was the way people of the book of the time when the book was written was translated. And to prove it, we're gonna show you something for the end of this recording. But what we have in AlaHaYm is five letters. First of them means the first, means the power, he who stands on the beginning. Aleph means Lamed means shepherd or someone in charge, right? So this translates to power. This translates to someone who's in a position of power, of passing the judgment. The next two letters is the word Hey and Yod. Those two letters give us word Hay, which in Hebrew language is what?
Life.
Life. In the next in the next segments of HAYAH TV, we're gonna bring Alleluia scriptures, and we're gonna show you what modern translations tell us about what should be standing in a place of the word life. But taking this understanding of me not translating this word Elohim, but translating it AlaHaYm, AlaHaYm, Allah is someone who is worshipped until this day in so-called Arabic. Allah. This is what
We're not Muslims. No.
we're not Muslims. No. But we know that Hagar, child Ishmael, was delivered and by the Most High, and there was 12 princes made from him, and that Edom mixed with one of brother of Jacob, mixed with one of the daughters of Edom. So it's safe to say that as much as we can rely on European scholars, we can as much or even more rely on the nation of people who are connected with the group of people to whom the book was delivered in the first place. You understand, Saba, what I'm trying to say? So Allah is something which modern definitions of many dictionaries, they're gonna tell you is gonna be Eloah. They're gonna translate it to Eloah, but the definition of the word in itself is the same. Is someone who is in a position of giving the judgment, of passing the judgment. So Allah and Im gives a plural form. In the middle of the word we have word Hay, which means life. So in Arabic, I have just tested internet again today. I've typed into some search engine, I don't know, Internet Explorer or something like that, HAYAH, life in English, and this is what is coming up with. Is coming up with AlaHaYm, AlaHaYm, HAYAH. We know that this second letter in the word HAYAH is not actually pronounced. We until this day know from people in Arabia that life is pronounced HAYAH. The same was pronounced with the letter H at the end of the word. So basically we've done a lot. 33 minutes, we've done not too bad. I think we've said a lot.
A lot. Too many for most of the people to accept.
But
Too much.
it's not really our fault that we are the ones delivering this message to you. It is not our intention starting this platform, having this. I mean, it is not my intention to belittle anyone from the group of Pharisees, Christian or Judeo-Christian Pharisees listening to our future recordings. Having this experience of being provider of this good news coming out of this book, giving you the highest definition in Polish language to Polish listeners for past year or so, I have unfortunately learned that it is enough to
Be hated.
be hated. And this is gonna be something which we're gonna wait for with rejoicing. We know that this is important thing that, like Paul wrote in his epistles, to have those tests in the body, that those people who are true followers of the way, the truth and the life, they're gonna be tested and it's gonna be find out.
But we are 100% sure there will be few people that will come, will find out the truth, and will follow the truth, for sure. There will be some people.
Of course. that's why we left off this project, which we've had started some time ago in Polish language, because there's enough been said
Loads.
for time being. So we
Challenge for you: learn Polish and listen.
yes, for those of you who have ability to maintain extra time during your day and perhaps translate what we have put out so far in HAYAH TV in Polish language, please share this information.
Good luck.
Best of luck. So, Psalm 68, verse 4. Led, and it says God, okay? And unfortunately, me knowing, I cannot do that to the even to the living memory of those 20 Catholic priests and I think like 20 Anglican priests who were translators of the text. If they knew what they were doing, I would definitely... I mean, it's one thing to know, the other thing to understand, right? Of course, they knew that AlaHaYm is a plural form of whatever the Greek demons were called, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for those of you who are future listeners to HAYAH TV, we're gonna omit the word God. We're gonna substitute it with whatever.
HAYAH, Most High,
whatever.
the Creator.
Yes, the power. Whatever.
So don't be upset.
Whatever the Spirit is gonna move us, because He's everything in everything. Most of all, He's life everlasting. Let the Most High, let the Highest arise, let His enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate Him flee before Him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of the Most High. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before the Most High. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto the Most High. Sing praises to His name. Exalt Him that rideth upon the heavens by His name. HAYAH, by His name. And AlaHaYah, Yah, is two letters in Hebrew language, is Yod and Hey. In pictographical, so-called picto,
From picture.
from picture, pictographical way of the way it was put to Hebrew people when it was delivered, for example, by Moses, we are made to believe it is. I'm gonna put it here. Yod, Hey, is hand and a man with two raised hands up in the air. This is what the scripture says. Exalt Him that rideth upon the heavens by His name, Yah, or as English people like to call it, Jah. So Jah is His name. How Jah is His name? Let us read two more scriptures for the end.
No, let's do the Exodus, tak? No?
Because we have spoken about Jesus, this grandson saying about, for those people who would like to learn about the prophecy and about the law, right?
Mhm.
And not to look too far in the future, and perhaps, so to say, try to bring fortune on this, what some of you who gonna be our future viewers experience. Prepare for the hate. Prepare for the hate which is going to come from left and right, which me, myself and Sebastian, we're gonna start receiving very soon from the so-called scholars in your Christian religion, for telling us that who are we to read from the book? Who are we?
How can you read
Yes.
from the book?
How can you say that AlaHaYm is a plural form to the listeners of our sermons when we read to them God, for example? I mean, this type of problems are not our problems. We are prepared for you. The Most High let the Most High give us enough strength and patience to give all of you time you deserve.
And all the information.
Of course. Malachi, the 4th chapter, the 4th verse. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Most High. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel. So something which would pertain to this lesson is the last probably thing we're going to read for you, as maybe not the last, maybe we're going to read something short as well. But for those of you who didn't realize, another simple fact coming from the book itself, it took me I don't know, but probably 32 years to hear from another brother that this what we're gonna share with you right now is something which is important actually. And if you're gonna be the first time coming across this information, don't discard this information and think to yourself that there is someone who is able to understand reality better than yourself. Only in this first recording we have proven to you, which you can verify yourself, that you are being lied to. You are
That's the
being
very
lied
important
to.
thing. You verify yourself. You check on your own. Go to the book, read it, and find out. And if you are wrong, just let us know.
Of course.
But no, on the subject that we are talking about.
If possible.
Yeah.
I think it's very depressing first segment. I think. Yeah. But I mean,
Our experience.
our experience, goes to show. I was in my head, I was planning not to, make this first recording too depressing. Forgive me, brothers.
Come on,
forgive us,
very
brothers and
very
sisters.
positive.
But
Don't worry.
I mean,
we don't worry. Too much.
it's gonna be, as we've said, is going to be. You just, hold on tight and see.
Yeah.
The 3rd chapter, book of Exodus, 11th verse. And the Moses said unto the Most High, Who am I that I should go unto the Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people of Egypt, ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain. And Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The Most High of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
Very important now.
It's like me showing interest in someone to say, yes? Let's reflect on the fact that Moses is speaking to the creator of everything, right?
So he's asking clearly, he's asking
Being
because
very impertinent, I would say. You know, he speaks to someone who knows a supernatural creature to himself. He knows he speaks to AlaHaYm, that he speaks to a power. He speaks to the angel, as it is written, to the angel of the Most High, and he's impertinent enough to ask, "What is your name?" Right? So,
as we all do at some point.
at some point, yes, we wonder, what is his name? What is his name?
So very clearly, yeah, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? So the Most High is going to tell us now what is his name and what the Moses should say.
So read the 14th verse over here.
And the Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. Not the God, not Jehovah, but I am.
HAYAH, this is what is being transformed by modern so-called Hebrew language into 3 letters. To make it easy to remember, H, J and H. HAYAH, HAYAH, in pictographical way of understanding of Hebrew language, is whatever the person with raised hands, the hand in between, and the person with raised hands, whatever those 3 pictures placed one against another means. And to explain what this means, it takes it takes a long time to reflect on. So HAYAH asher HAYAH, life everlasting. This is one of many translations which we could safely put upon this definition which was given to Moses. Life over life, life everlasting. This is what you're going to say. And on the beginning,
I think that's enough information, Thomas.
on the beginning we've read on the beginning, and at the end we're just gonna read the most important thing for us for people to understand. If you won't be able to comprehend, those of you who are students of the so-called Bible at this point in time, those informations which we are slowly we are going to start putting out, don't be discouraged. My phone number 078-773-02923. You want to give your number?
079-222-70269.
With prefix to England 00, so plus 44. We don't have all time in the world, but if there is a need for sincere sister or sincere brother to speak to someone and ask the right question, and someone needs
some more explanation,
not like encouragement, maybe we are not here to babysit, with viewers of HAYAH TV, but if there is someone with direct question, please get in touch. So I think I'm gonna read first book of John. What do you say? So this is what we are going to preach, and this is what all of you who are so-called Christians, if we address you, our viewers, as Christians or as
I'm late an hour.
okay, I'm going, or as followers of this path, you understand what we are trying to say. We are giving you what we know regarding everlasting life, and this is how we would like to be seen in the future, right? That which was from the beginning, that which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, of the word of life. For the life, was manifested, and we have seen it, and bear witness, and show unto you that eternal life, which was with the Father, and was manifested unto us. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Yeshua Christ. And these things write we unto you, that your joy may be full. Glory to the Most High. Peace to Israel scattered in Babylon. Have lovely evening. Have a lovely day to yourself.
Don't forget to watch us and subscribe. For the information.
No, hold on. A very important thing is what? Dziesięcina. Type, of course, type.
Yeah.
Of course, type, yeah.
But the account number maybe later.
Maybe later, yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. Sebastian just got a new phone, so okay. If we need something, we'll let you know.
Of course.
May the force, may the Most High be with you. Glory be to the Most High.